Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, a local attorney, and what you're about to watch is pretrial. Now, pretrial is the third court event in the process towards resolving a criminal case. The first was first appearance, the next was arraignment. Now we have pretrial to determine if the case is ready to proceed to docket day and potentially trial, or if it can't be worked out through plea or even dismissed. At pretrial, though, facts are not as important as they are in other hearings. In this case, it's procedural. The judge is going to bring in their entire docket to make sure that the attorneys are doing what they need to do to get the cases towards a just conclusion. Some of the cases you'll see are older, some are newer. On the older ones, you may see some tension as the judges are trying to make sure the cases are moving forward, but the stakes are getting high. So that's what pretrial is. Let's go see what happens.
I think that's your only one.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You may. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cardoso.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Ryan Cardoso appearing on behalf of Christopher Davis. There's a waiver in the court file, and the defense is requesting a motion to continue at this time. We're requesting continuance. We have a court date of March 19th that's on the books for the defense.
You have a motion to compel.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Obviously, that's a critical date, so stay in agreement.
Yes, Your Honor, stays in agreement.
Court will continue this matter until 4/8. at 9 a.m. And obviously, we'll have the 319 hearing in the end.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Mr. Garrett.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Your Honor, Chris Garrett on behalf of Brian Buchanan, 23 CF 1078. Your Honor, we are scheduled for a deposition of a witness on March 20th. We'd ask for a continuance to April 8th. I don't believe the state
Say
has.
March 20th, you have your deposition?
That is when it's scheduled for, Your Honor.
Do you anticipating this will be the, all of the, I know you have to depend on what comes out of the hearing at the deposition, but you anticipate this will be your main discovery?
Yes, Your Honor. I think once we do this deposition, I think discovery will be completed. We'll be ready for resolution one way or the other.
State?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's true.
Very good. We'll continue this till 4/8.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you. Great. Mr. Dees.
Good morning, Your Honor. Your Honor, Keontae Pride. There's a waiver of appearances in the court file for Mr. Pride. He also has another matter on the docket. He's represented by Ms. Graham on.
Hold on just a second. Let me find it. I know we've got a couple of cases with. So are you handling Ms. Graham's as well?
No, she's present. I just didn't know if the court wanted to handle both at the same time for efficiency purposes.
You get a pass, Ms. Graham, because you got
Yes.
There you go.
Mr. Dees.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good
Tricia
morning.
Graham. On behalf of Keontae Pride, I have him on case 23 CF, what is the other one?
326.
326. Thank
And
you.
Mr. Dees' case 22 CF 2486.
So, Judge, I'm asking mine to be left set on the docket day without subpoena. It sounds like we're going to be able to resolve it.
Okay. Ms. Graham?
And Your Honor, unfortunately, we still have ongoing discovery in this case. There is, I know I've been working with Ms. Sharpless, and they're working on getting a bunch of downloads of social media, which we are anticipating. We've had 2 sets of depositions already in that case, but more keeps coming out at depositions. We'd ask to continue that matter, or we can track it together for a discussion, because I plan on
State?
That's true, Your Honor. We are ongoing discovery in the trafficking case, Your Honor. And Mr.
You all
Dees-
don't anticipate these being resolved together?
Your Honor,
That'd be
we,
the only reason
I'd
we'd
like to.
track it together.
Mr.
If not,
Yeah,
we'll just
well,
wait.
Mr. Dees and I are attempting to do something where I think we're going to end up playing his case and then waiting to sentence it until the trafficking case is done, so that we can at least have it
So you're
resolved.
anticipating moving forward with your case, Ms. Graham?
There hasn't been an offer to resolve this case, Your Honor, our case.
Is there going to be an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, there have been an offer sheet sent to her. It may not be one her client would be willing to take. It was a prison offer.
That's not what she just said. She said she hasn't received an offer. I just want to make sure if that's a misunderstanding between you all, that
Check
get
on
that
that,
correct.
Your Honor. There should have been an offer sheet that went over with the
Okay.
discovery.
So please go back, if you'll check. If you haven't done it, please.
Yes, Your Honor, certainly.
Please do that. Let's bring them together. Let's just run them together. She'll probably be here anyway on docket day. So we'll continue yours till docket day with the understanding that if it's not resolved, likely to be continued. We're not looking, unless there's a resolution, we're not looking to go to trial this summer.
Right, and Your Honor, just for clarification, offer regarding both cases at the same time. So that's what I want to clarify for.
I'm sorry, say it again?
An offer regarding both cases at the same time. That's what I want to clarify with Ms. Sharpless, not separately.
There's been no global offer made, I think is what.
But they have given you an offer on your case.
Not since the last deposition, Your Honor.
I'm a little confused what you're asking the state to do. I just want to make sure the state's clear. More important that they're clear. So are you is the state anticipating giving a global offer? on
Yes,
this
Your
one?
Honor, I can make sure that is done. I will make sure that is done.
By docket day?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So we'll both come back on the 19th on docket day.
See you on the 19th, Judge. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Browning.
Thank you. Floyd Browning for Kevin Dixon.
Okay.
Judge, this is going to be a written plea agreement to a misdemeanor charge. May I approach?
You may. Okay. So the state's in agreement, obviously.
Yes, Your Honor, it's
Lastly, Judge, Nancy Holland.
Did we announce that case? It's 23 CF 2558. That's the Kevin Dix, just for the record.
Okay,
Go
Judge.
ahead.
Judge, next, the Coy Brennan for Nancy Holland. It's 23 CF 1216. And that's going to be a written plea agreement to a misdemeanor. May I approach?
Is that also to a misdemeanor?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Your Honor, are these supervised by state probation?
I'm sorry?
Are they supervised by state probation?
Good question.
No, ma'am. Judicial Correction Services, Judge.
Okay. Thank you for asking that. Okay, so the court will accept this plea as well.
Okay, good seeing you, Judge. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Still Bosa.
Good morning, Your Honor. Susan Del Bosque on behalf of Jermaine Britton, 23 CF 1850. There was a substantial amount of discovery in this case, including 20-plus videos, which I've just gotten through. We need to set up a deposition for the victim, so I'm just asking for a continuance, Your Honor.
State,
That's correct, Your Honor.
based upon the relatively recent, the court will grant the continuance until the next cycle, which is 4/8.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have.
That's all I got. Thank you. Have a nice day. Mr. Gilbert.
Good morning, Your Honor. May I approach?
Good morning, you may. Go ahead and begin by announcing the case, please.
Morning, Your Honor. Michael Gilbert on behalf of Christopher Bates in 20 CF 787. He is present. We have a reached agreement with the state. The defendant agrees to plead no contest to count 2 in exchange for count 1 being non-pros. Request a pre-sentencing investigation and request a sentencing for 11 April.
Okay. Clarification. So you're basically pleading to the court on as to count 2 on a no contest plea. That's correct. What do you mean by no mandatory 15-year max? Is that the cap? You're establishing a cap?
It's 15-year max, Your Honor. Yes, that's
Under the
statutory.
plea?
Yes.
Okay. And when you say no mandatory,
There's no mandatory.
State?
That is the agreement of the state, Your Honor. That count carries a 15-year statutory maximum, and there is no minimum on that count. It's completely completed.
This, when you say statutory maximum, what do you mean by that? You mean the maximum that could have been given under this
It's 15 years, yes.
is 15 years? Okay. So it's basically a plea. I'm just wondering why you're putting statutory maximum. If that's the maximum I can give, why is that? What's the significance in the plea agreement? I just want to make sure I'm understanding the plea agreement.
I wanted to make sure the court knew that that wasn't a cap set by the state, that that's the statutory maximum.
Okay, it is, but it is a cap, but it happens to be the same one as the statute has, statutory. Okay, that's fine. Just wanted to make sure I understood it, that where we're going. Okay. Mr. Bates, and the state is in agreement.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bates, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I see that you just heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement.
Yes, sir.
And I see that those same terms are contained in the written plea agreement that you have signed.
Yes, sir.
My first question to you is, did you read this plea agreement closely?
Yes, sir.
And have you gone over it in detail with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Importantly, you understand that by entering into this plea agreement here today, this will be a final resolution of your case, other than this sentencing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in other words, you can't come back and, I don't like that sentence, I'm going to withdraw my plea. You're pleading here today. Sentencing will be set off at some point to get documentation regarding PSI and whatnot.
Yes,
You
sir.
understand that?
Yes, sir.
But you are, by entering into this plea agreement, importantly today, you're waiving some valuable rights. And the main one is the right to go to a trial, right to force the state to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. You don't have to prove anything. They have to prove their case beyond every reasonable doubt. You're waiving that in order to get a final resolution here today.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why? Why are you entering this here today?
I just feel like it's the right choice.
Okay. And you do, have you had a chance, you say you've gone over this in detail with your attorney, have had all your legal questions answered?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there a factual basis for the entry of this plea? Yes, Your Honor. Is there any DNA evidence that?
Not to say it's where.
Okay. Very good. Do you have any further questions regarding this plea agreement? It's a serious plea agreement, obviously.
No, sir.
Okay. Very good. Based upon that testimony here today, the court will accept the plea here today. Count 1 will be null pros, and the defendant pleads no contest to count 2, which is vehicular homicide. It's basically a plea to the court. There will be no mandatory, but there is a 15-year maximum, which is set by the statute, and that will be essentially the cap on anything the court would do. But we'll order the PSI and make sure that we are. One thing I'm looking at that you didn't mention, counsel, is possible reservation on restitution.
The state has reserved restitution, and I believe it is indicated.
Your Honor, the state just needs to comply with Marcy's law, make sure that we get the final letter out and the final form back. That's all. But we anticipate restitution at the issue.
Okay. Well, that'll be resolved obviously before the
At sentence.
sentencing. Okay. Very good. You understand that, Mr. Bates? I didn't ask you about that, so I just want to make sure you understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. And how far out do we want to? Probation? 60 days, something like that, 45?
Either one, Your Honor. Either one.
Let's do it shorter then. What do we got?
So we had looked out at,
You got
due to
something?
coordinating with state schedule also, we notionally put 11 April. It's a misdemeanor, a miscellaneous day.
Where are we at in the afternoon on that one? April 11th at 1:30. Right, 1 to 2, well, after that, so 2:30, excuse me. Okay, we'll do it. And Mr. Bates, even though you just entered this plea agreement here today, you do have 30 days to appeal.
Yes, sir.
Any questions, counsel? Stay. Thank you very much.
Also this morning, Michael Gilbert on behalf of Joseph Carroll and 23 CF 1357. We have a waiver on file. We have reached terms, and I'd like to leave that set for a plea for docket day.
Okay. Very good. We'll come back on February 19th for plea. Very good.
Next case is Chester Cooper and 23 CF 2294. We have a waiver on file. We've been working on depot dates. I understand that we have received.
Hold on. I don't have that.
I apologize.
Your Honor, I have it as number 55 on page 20. That's right after Mr. Carroll on the document.
Say the name again.
Chester Cooper.
Chester Cooper. There you go. I've got it. Good. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
That's 23 CF 2294. I thought you said trooper.
Oh,
I don't have a T on here. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So we have Set depots, I believe we've got confirmation dates on those. It is the first time up. We request continuance.
Very good. State okay with that?
Yes, Your Honor, that's accurate.
Court will continue this till 4/8.
And last case is Orville Johnson and 23 CF 1966. It may have cleared off the docket. Waiver on file. There was no cross.
That's an all cross.
That's correct, Judge.
What's the case number, just to make sure, because it's not on my docket, just make sure we've got that.
23 CF 1966. Okay.
But it's been all cross. Okay, as long as it's been
Yeah,
all
it
cross.
was live last week.
Mr. Gilbert, I also have a Joseph Carroll for you.
We just don't.
We did
I
him.
did that, that's the plea. Right. Yes, I do.
Tiffany
Which one?
Bland.
Tiffany Bland?
There were 2 TRs.
Correct.
And I've discussed that with the state attorney, and she has no objection to merge and, I guess, cancel out those. This is part of a large,
Might cancel out.
it was on a, it was,
I know they tracked with probably some other felony, but where are we at with it? What do we need to do with that case, those 2 TR cases?
right, it was a TR 1250, 12550 and 12551.
Right.
I'm asking if those could be merged and dismissed. She's convicted and punished on a DUI. That
State? So the court will merge and dismiss these 2 based on the resolution of the other case.
yes.
You want to put the other case down for the record?
And that was,
Whatever you-
well, the DUI was 23 CT 2376.
Okay, so based upon the resolution of that, these 2 will be merged into that and dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. I think that's all you got, Mr. Gilbert.
It is, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yes, you have a good day. Mr. Cotton.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
The first case I have on your docket is going to be David Bratton. That's case number 23CF631. We've done some depositions in this case. The state's been working with law enforcement. They're providing a forensic report to resolve some of the discovery issues. I think we're just waiting on that. Ms. Bosso has already looked into that, and we're just waiting on them to provide it.
There's no objection to continuance, Your Honor, pending that report.
So what report are you waiting for?
They're doing a forensic report of the computer because of the type of the case and the questions that were asked at deposition. It's not something they can answer off the top of their heads. They have to dig a little deeper to get the responses to those answers. Is that a fair way to characterize it?
So will that be kind of the final kind of discovery?
I believe so.
I'm just asking, are we announcing last on this if we continue this?
The state will be fine with that.
Yeah, Judge, I think once I get this, unless there's another depot that's needed, and I can move the court if I had to for that. Other than that, I think we're where we are.
Okay, so I'm going to continue this until the next cycle at 4/8, but I'm going to ask the clerk reflect in the record that it will be the last continuance.
Okay.
Absence of exigent circumstances.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Your Honor, the next case I have is Travis Abity. That's case number 22CF2459. Your Honor, we're working toward a resolution on this, I believe. I've made an offer to the state. She's got to review that. We'd like to leave that set for docket day to see if we can resolve it. As in case the court needs to know, the reason why it's set plea continue. The court heard a motion to dismiss on that. We stipulated to some facts. The court took them in order. If we're not able to resolve, we may have to re-approach the court on that, but the state now will get to that if necessary.
Okay. We'll just kind of see where we're going with it.
Yes, sir.
We'll address it on docket day. So we'll continue this till 2/19.
Yes, sir. Next case I have is Leanne Anderson. That's 23CF1618. Your Honor, we've got deposition set on March 15th. We'd request a continuance to after that date.
No objection, Your Honor.
And it's a relatively recent case. The court will continue this till 4/8.
Thank you, Judge. The next case I have is Mark David Curtis, 23CF2665. We've got a resolution in that case, Your Honor, if we can leave that set for docket day to enter a plea.
Very
And I'm sorry, Judge, did I hear you say that's 219?
That's correct.
Thank you, Your Honor.
19 at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir. Next case I have is Pedro Alonso, 23 CF 1559. Your Honor, we had depots set in this case. The alleged victim in this case was not able to appear. They contacted my office, so we're having to reset that deposition date. We've worked on that. I think the last communication was Friday. We had a date. I was not available, so I anticipate getting a new date set this week. It should be able to get set before our next pretrial, when you think.
Yes,
so
Your Honor.
a continuance would be requested, Judge.
Very good. We'll continue this till 4, 8, and 9 a.m.
Your Honor, the last case I believe I have is Mario Aguirre Lopez. This is 21 CF 680. Could we approach on that case? Michelle, do you think that's appropriate? Yes, sir.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works.
This morning, that was continued to 4-8.
Very good. That's all I've got as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you very
yes,
much.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gates.
Judge, I believe Mr. Gates is in multiple courtrooms. I didn't see him here
That's
this
all right.
morning.
We'll pass. Ms. Reed? Good morning, Ms. Reed.
Hi, good morning, Judge. I just have one case on the court's docket, and that is Jonathan Goodhart, 23 CF 22.
Hold on a second. Let me just find it.
Yes.
Very good.
Okay. Jonathan Goodhart, 23 CF 2209. There is a waiver on file. Mr. Hearn and I finalized some terms this morning, so I'm just asking that that be set on docket day for PTI status.
Very good. State?
That's correct, Judge.
So we'll continue this till docket day 219 for
PTI
plea or
status.
PTI.
Yes. Okay.
For resolution.
For resolution. That works for me.
Very
That's
good.
all I have.
Thank you
Maybe
very much.
excused. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Y'all have a good day.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Merrifield,
Good morning, Your Honor.
you want to do Mr. Flaherty's cases first or yours?
Whichever would be easier, Judge.
Yeah. Well, let's
Maybe easier to locate his to start with. The first case I have, Brady Merrifield on behalf of Joseph Benison and 23 CF 2171.
hold on just a second. Let me
Yes, sir.
get these cases. Okay.
And that was Mr. Benison.
Repeat the name again, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir, Judge. It's Joseph Benison, 23 CF 2171. There's a waiver on file for Mr. Benison. We received the last piece of discovery late this weekend, so we request to continue that to the 4-8 cycle.
Did you, Benison with a B?
B-E-N-N, yes, Judge.
I don't have that on my docket.
That should be under Mr. Flaherty's name.
I got Mr. Flaherty. What's the case number?
23 CF 2171.
2171. I don't have it. Do you have it on the document? Okay.
And that's B-E-N-N-I-S-O-N.
Okay. So I'll add it to my document. I don't know why it's not on mine, but it's all right. So where are we going with that? Sorry.
That's okay, Judge. We just received the last piece of discovery we were waiting on. I believe we'll get it resolved on the 4-8 cycle if we could continue it to that cycle.
Can we make note this is the last continuance?
It is the second time up, Judge, but yes, it should be the last continuance for this case.
Court will note last continuance. I assume the state's okay with this. Jump in if you're not. State?
Your Honor, I don't recall if I have the FDLE report on that or not. You'll have to. Okay. Your Honor, yeah, that should be the last continuance. And Ms. Merrifield reminded me we do have the FDLE report. My notes do reflect that. She does have the search warrant now, so I think we should be good.
Very good. We'll continue to 4-8.
4-8. The next case, Judge, is Robert Bolton, 23 CF 2153. There's also a waiver on file. We just received discovery in Mr. Bolton's case on February the 6th, so we'd request to continue this to the 4-8 pre-trial.
State?
That no objection, Your Honor.
The next one is Alan.
Let me just kind of jump in, just trying to understand some of these things.
Yes, sir.
This case was initiated back in September of last year. Why did it take so long to get your discovery? Is that?
We filed our notice in demand on October the 19th, Judge.
That kind
Your Honor, I
of
will.
3 months, that's normal, 3?
Well, I will look into that, Your Honor. I know that.
I'm just trying to kind of
I know that
figure out.
I know that she has it now. I will look into what took it.
But it's appropriate for a continuance anyway, but I'm trying to kind of track these things. So we'll continue it to 4-8.
Thank you, Judge. The next case is Alan Brooks in 23 CF 1462. We're ready for trial of Mr. Brooks.
Your Honor, state's ready.
Okay, so we'll come back on docket day, and now both parties appear to be announced and ready for trial.
The next
Do
case.
you all have any? How long do you anticipate the trial will last?
1 day, Judge.
Okay. Very good. We'll come back on docket day at 2:19. Thank you.
The next case is Miranda Cardwell in 23 CF 1171. It's the first time up for Ms. Cardwell. There is a waiver on file. We'd like to leave this one set docket day for plea or continue.
State?
Yes, Your Honor. No objection.
Very good. We'll continue docket day in 2:19 for plea or continue.
The next one is Alexander Edwards in 23 CF 2081. There is a waiver on file for Mr. Edwards. This is the second time up, and we do not have discovery in this matter.
Your Honor, can we approach, please?
You may.
Thank you.
Tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law, 850-306-2667.
Back Home Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briar Patch Realty. Helping qualified heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Dave's Tire Pros makes buying tires simpler. They offer a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and a great selection of Michelin tires. No matter what you drive or where you have driven, Michelin has a tire to fit any need. Visit our store in Crestview or online at davestilepros.com. Tire Pros love the drive.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
Check out the soaps, bath bombs, and other bath and body products, all made by hand with natural ingredients at Hub City Soapery. Visit us at 1092 North Verdon Boulevard in Crestview or shop online at hubcitysoapery.com. Hub City Soapery.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to...
We'll continue this matter until 4/8 at 9 a.m. and you're going to provide me an order regarding the outstanding discovery from the state.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge. The next case I have is Troy Graves in 23 CF 2428. There is a waiver on file for Mr. Graves. I'd like to leave this one set for docket day. Plea or continue. I believe that we will get it resolved at docket day.
State?
That's correct, Judge.
Very good. We'll continue to the docket day on 2/19.
The last one under Mr. Flaherty's is Anissa Gines in 23 CF 423. There is a waiver on file for Ms. Gines. As the court may recall, We had Ms. Gines evaluated. I have recently received that report. That's what's taken a considerable amount of time. I have discussed it with ASA Losco. It's my understanding that the state wants to see an additional opinion at this time, so we may need one more continuance so that we can get that resolved.
Do we need to order a second evaluation?
That's probably where this is going to go, Judge. I haven't received the evaluation yet. I need to review it. My understanding is it's very
Okay,
lengthy.
so just to move it, if you receive it and you need another one, let's not wait until our next hearing. Let's go ahead and forward me an order saying, hey, based upon agreement of the parties, we need a second opinion, and I'll sign.
That's fine, Judge. My suggestion was going to be set it for a docket day
We can do that
with the
too.
intention of just following up on it.
I don't mind, let's do it. Continue the docket day.
All right, and Judge, considering the circumstances of this case, would the court be willing to waive Ms. Gines' appearance since this is just a placeholder date to determine evaluations?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll continue to review the issue of the evaluations.
Thank you, Judge. And I'll get that report to Mr. Losco this afternoon.
Very good.
And that should be all under Mr. Flaherty's. I do have one case that is under my name,
I
Judge.
did see that one. Hold on, let me get to that one. Very good.
And then, yes, Judge, Sabrina Grief in 23 CF at 1428. There is a waiver on file for Ms. Grief. I'd like to leave this one set for 219, plea or continue, in hopes of resolving this case.
Very good. We'll continue to docket day in 219, plea or continue.
And I believe that's all I have this morning, Your Honor.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day. Mr. Notes. See, I know he might be.
He's also with Judge Brewer this morning.
That's all right. We'll just call over. Is Mr. Gates back? He's still over there? Okay. That's all right. Friedman? Morning, Mr. Friedman.
Good morning. Tor Freeman on behalf of Kelly Drummond, 23 CF 1568. There should be a waiver on file.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
What was the name?
Drummond.
Kelly Drummond.
Very good.
If
That's
we
case
may-
number 23 CF 1568. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, sir. If we could leave it on the docket day on Monday, we should have a plea there, Your Honor.
Very good. We'll continue to docket day 219 for a plea.
Thank you, sir. That's all I have. May I be excused.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Mr. Weinstock.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning. Your Honor, two cases. The first will be Justin Shane Brown, 23 CF 2207. I have deposition set at the end of March. I respect the continuance until your next docket day after that.
Okay. Are those completing all the depots, do you anticipate?
I believe so, Your Honor.
State okay with the continuance?
What date, please?
State okay. I'm asking, is the state okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Court will continue this matter until 4, 8, and 9 a.m.
The second case I have, Your Honor, is State versus Cooper Johnson, 23 CF 963. Mr. Johnson is present and approaching. I have a plea agreement. May I approach?
You may.
Mr. Weinstock, did you include the score sheet with that? Thank you. All of it. Left part of it there. There we go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Would you please announce the plea, Mr. Weinstock?
Yes, sir. This is case number 963, possession of child porn. The plea agreement is that the court will adjudicate him guilty with 77 months DOC with credit for time served.
Now, let me make sure I understand this. Point of clarification. pleading guilty to each of the 20 charges.
That's
Is
affirmative.
that correct?
Yes, sir.
And so the 77 DOC, obviously that's a cumulative, and is that for each count?
No, that's total, Your Honor.
I understand. You got to walk me through exactly how it is, because each count has to have individual. So
The cumulative total on the cost
cumulative doesn't matter. I need to know exactly, because some of these have maximum. I'm sure if we had each one at 77 months, that would be the easiest, but I don't think these counts allow for 77 months. But how are we splitting? Ms. Boss out here, understand what I'm asking?
Yes, sir, I do.
We'll get to it, Mr. Weinstein. I just need to have that as part of the record.
Understand, Your Honor. If I'll continue then, and we'll go back to that in a second, all right?
Your Honor, if we could pass Mr. Cooper for a few minutes, Mr. Johnson, and I will sit down with Mr. Weinstock and we can write out so that he's in agreement and so we're not just having to
That'd be
do it
great.
with everybody.
I'm going to hand this back to you, Mr. Weinstein.
It'll just take us a few minutes, so.
Okay. Thank you. I won't forget about you. You can wave at me if I'm asking on you. Mr. Skavatsky.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kim Skavatsky on behalf of Elizabeth Damron. She should be approaching. Your Honor, may we approach on this?
Sorry, come on.
Stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestviewagent.com.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
Man, I got this. Let's roll.
Fight fire with fire, take one.
Have you been injured in an accident and need righteous representation? Call us. Because we fight fire. Damn thing ain't working. Whoa! Not cool, bro.
I'm Attorney Coy Browning. Personal injury is no joke. Just ask him.
Injured? Take a breath. Call Coy.
With council, we'll go ahead and continue this full cycle to 4/8, April 8th at 9 a.m. And the attorneys are going to be contacting the judicial assistant for miscellaneous in the interim, incompetency issues.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. I think that's all you got, isn't it, Mr.? I think that's the only one you got. Right? That's it. Okay. Is Dudley here? Or is she scooted over? Okay, she's gone. Mr. Powell, Bo Powell. Bo's?
Your Honor, he's on his way to San Jose.
Okay. How do you get his name on here if he's on his way? Good friends. Somebody stick his name on him?
That I cannot tell you, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Gates, why don't you're standing up? We passed over you, so why don't we go ahead and do yours?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sure. Your Honor, the first case that I have on Your Honor's docket is Joel Johnson, 23 CF 1293. We have a deposition set in the next week on that case. We've already taken one round of depositions, and I don't think the state has any objection to a continuance.
One looks like this will be the final round of depo, assuming, they all appear.
It will. It's the victim.
Okay. State okay with the continuance?
That's fine, Judge.
Very good. We'll continue this till 4/8, 9 a.m. next cycle.
And then, Judge, the other case I have is Francisco Garcia, 2023 CF 980, 2023 TR 5381, which is tracking with that felony. We are going to have a referral to vet court. Mr. Garcia has already attended 2 sessions, and I think we just need a control date.
Okay. You want to do a control date like next week at docket day, or we go all the way out next cycle? And
Probably the next cycle, and then it'll drop off the docket because he'll enter a plea.
That's fine, Judge.
So we'll continue this to 4/8 and hopefully get everything squared away for vet court.
And that's all I have. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Have a good day. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Patel.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I have 2 cases under my name. The first one, Jay Patel on behalf of Joshua Arenas, 23 CF 1722. There's a waiver on file. Judge, I've just got a text message from my office that we have confirmed our deposition dates. Our office was going back and forth with the state. Those deposition dates, unfortunately, are April the 30th. So if we can continue it to a time after that.
Well, I'm going to go ahead just so we don't lose track.
Okay.
I know it's probably going to be not a particularly helpful. Let's go full cycle, come back on 4/8, just so we can confirm there, saying if there's any issues, the court might be able to be helpful. So let's come back on 4/8.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Devin Henry Johns, 23 CF 147, 23 CF 149. We had to cancel our last depositions because of the storm that came in. I believe that we have, well, I know that we've sent over dates for rescheduling, so we just need to get that done. Our Bay homicide trial kind of got us a little off track on getting them done sooner than later.
State,
Your Honor,
okay.
this is
Yeah,
Ms.
Ms.
Basso's
Basso
case.
stepped
If we
out.
could wait till she gets back.
Okay.
She was speaking with Mr. Weinstock really quickly. I think she'll be right back.
Just wait, make sure and wave at me so that we don't make you wait around. I think that's, do you have some other ones?
I have one other matter, but Ms. Basso is also the assigned ASA, so I'll just...
Is that under your name?
It's under Mr. Shaw's name. Last name is
Okay.
Sharenzia.
Very good. We'll just wait, just kind of just wave at me, drawing my attention if I'm distracted.
No worries.
She comes back. Okay. Did Mr. Notes get back yet? Ms. Graham, you want to come up for the rest of your cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning again, Tricia Graham. First, I have Cameron Eddy on 2 cases, 23 CF 1423 and 23 CF 1420. Your Honor, I filed a motion to withdraw due to a conflict. I did submit a proposed order. I don't believe that's been signed yet, but it's in the system. I do have a written order as well.
Okay. Well, just to keep it on track, we'll continue this till 4/8. Okay. We have to do that. As soon as it comes in, I didn't have anything as of Friday morning.
Right.
It might have come in over the weekend.
Thank you, Your
So
Honor.
we'll continue to 4/8.
And Next, I have Cameron Grant, 2 cases, 23 CF 226 and 23 CF 2221. Your Honor, we have depositions scheduled in one of the cases for March 20th. I've spoken with Mr. Losco, and there's no objection to continue the matter to the next pretrial.
Is that the last of the depositions, you think?
This is just the beginning of the depositions, but I anticipate it actually being resolved with these depositions, if not before.
Stay okay with the full cycle continuance?
That's fine, Judge.
Continue to 4/8 at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor. And next I have Jennifer Hall. There's a waiver on file in case 23 CF 1218. You want to approach with the state on this matter? Maybe, Your Honor?
You may.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a
Based
call.
upon the conversation with counsel, the court will grant continuance agreed upon by both parties to the court.
And last, Your Honor, I have Christopher Rogers, who's present in the court today.
Okay.
I believe he will be approaching. In case 23 CF 116 and 23 CF 2466. It's the first time up for me, Your Honor. I don't have any discovery in either of those cases from the state. I did speak with Ms. Sharpless, and she'll be working on that. These were transfer divisions and so forth, so she's working on getting the discovery to me.
Your Honor, I did check. I know on one case she has gotten discovery. I do know on the other case discovery is incoming, but we're not quite at the 15th day yet. So I think her demand was filed on January the 29th. So there are.
She just contradicted you a little bit, not trying to get into anything, but did you get one?
I haven't seen the discovery, Your Honor, and if there's maybe my error, unless she just sent it over the weekend.
Well, if you think you sent it to her, just make sure your offices communicate after today's hearing. And,
yes, sir.
that means you got it, so if you don't,
then
I
will check it. And Your Honor, sometimes the discovery will show sent, but it's sent to a different attorney, and that's the problem.
Okay,
but we're communicating
we'll
on
do a
that.
full cycle continuance, but hopefully we'll make some real movement on the discovery in this next month or so.
Thank you, Your Honor. And just for clarification, Mr. Rogers had a case set for today, the 116, but I believe on the 14th was still set for the 2466. We're addressing both today. I just want to make sure it doesn't get called up again for the 14th.
He's got one on the 14th. What is that other case number?
It's I believe that's a 23 CF 2466.
And this was one of the cases that Ms. Van Boxel emailed about asking to be moved.
Okay.
The one docket area.
So we'll obviously those will both be continued to 4/8. Okay, we'll track them together next time.
Thank you, Your Honor. And that concludes my cases. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Your Honor, if it's acceptable to the court, we're ready on Cooper Johnson with Mr. Weinstock.
Mr. Weinstock? Come on.
And Your Honor, what I've done is I've written out for the court the proposed structuring of that. I can provide it to you to read once I read it, if that's okay.
Okay.
As soon as Mr. Johnson.
Or we can just have Mr. Weinstock will be reading it, and because he's doing the rest of the plea.
You want to do it? Okay, you got it.
So,
Wait, Your Honor, I think I gave you.
I don't mean to be picky.
I think I
But
gave you.
there's something that's going to be filed that has it, because this doesn't have it. It just says 77 months.
We'll do it orally, Your Honor.
No, we can't do it orally. We're going to have a written plea agreement. It has to be in writing.
Well, I have an attachment that I can give the court.
What's that?
I have an attachment I can give the court to file it with the plea.
Ms. Basso?
It's acceptable to the state, but if it's
Okay.
not to the court, we can make sure that we
No,
file the addendum.
I'll accept it, but just understand that we have to be very precise with our sentencing, or your client's going to be honest, you know. First weekend when he gets transported.
I believe I gave you, if I may approach, I believe I gave you a single sheet that has the plea agreement on it.
You did. Go ahead. You can keep that. Okay.
Your Honor, once again, please, this is Cooper Johnson, case 23 CF 963. As 963, there are 20 counts of possession of child porn. And the agreement with the state, of which I will file with the court in a minute, is on count 1, 20 months DOC credit for time served. On count 2, 17 months DOC credit for time served, consecutive to count 1. That's a total of the 77 months that's inside the plea agreement. On count 3, there's 5 years probation, consecutive to counts 1 and 2. On count 4, there's 5 years probation, consecutive to counts 1, 2, and 3. From counts 5 to 20, 5 years probation, concurrent to count 4 and each other. That's a total of 77 months DOC and 10 years of probation. May I approach?
Thank you. Ms. Basso? Stated agreement?
The state is in agreement. There's also some additional special conditions, I believe, if Mr. Weinstein is going to
Would you
announce
go over
those.
those for us, Mr. Weinstein?
Yes, sir. On probation, GPS is going to be required. There'll be sex offender designation. They'll have no unsupervised contact with minors, no internet access. The standard cost, of which I'm asked Madam Clerk to please advise the court for that.
666?
And finally, Mr. Johnson reserves the right to appeal all motions in judgment. Put that on the record.
Very good.
That is the state's agreement, Your Honor. That is also within the guidelines, and I believe Mr. Weinstein provided the court with a copy of the score sheet.
And is the defense in agreement with regards to the score sheet?
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Johnson, would you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, speaking to that, pull that mic over to you so I can speak to you. There you go, thank you. So, Mr. Johnson, you heard your attorney detail the terms of your plea agreement, and I see those are written in the plea agreement, both the typed plea agreement as well as the handwritten. It kind of details, breaks out the actual sentence for each individual count. And I want to make sure, I see that you have signed that plea agreement. Have you read the plea agreement closely?
Yes, sir.
And have you gone over it in detail with your attorney? Make sure you understand all the legal issues. A lot of legal stuff in here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have done that, and if you been able to speak with your attorney, make sure you have all your legal questions answered about this plea.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and you understand that by entering into this plea agreement here today, you're waiving a number of valuable rights.
Yes, sir.
Main is the right to have the state prove their case. But along with that, you have the right to have a jury of your peers, you have the right to confront witnesses. All those rights you're waiving in order to get a final resolution here today.
Yes, sir.
You believe that this plea agreement is in your best interest?
Yes, sir.
And there is a factual basis for this plea?
Stipulated, Your Honor.
Stipulated by the state, so I can understand.
And there, no DNA evidence?
No, sir.
Very good. Based upon that testimony, the court will accept this plea agreement here today. There will be an adjudication of guilt on each of the 20 counts. And as to count 1, the court is sentencing the defendant to 60 months Department of Corrections. He will have credit for time served. Count 2 will be 17 months DOC, credit for time served, consecutive to count 1. So that means that's added on. It's not concurrent, it's consecutive. So a total of 77, that's what your client, your attorney originally set forth, right? And so counts 3, you're sentenced to 5 years probation, consecutive to count 1 and 2. And count 4, 5 years probation, consecutive to count 1, 2, and 3. Counts 5 through 20, 5 years probation, concurrent to count 4 and to each other. Now, specifically with these probations, these are special terms, sex offender probation with all the standard provisions. GPS is required along with sex offender designation, no unsupervised contact with minors, no internet access, and of course standard costs always. And the defendant does reserve the right to appeal all motions and this judgment. You do have 30 days to make this appeal on this plea agreement in addition. Mr. Weinstock, is that a correct rendition? Any questions?
It is a correct rendition, Your Honor. I do have one other issue, however, if I may.
Sure.
The client is requesting to make an oral tennis motion for the return of all property that has been taken that are of a non-evidentiary value. And I believe Ms. Basso will agree to that.
The state has no objection to that, Your Honor.
I'll have an order for the court, so...
Very good. Just make sure and pass the order by Ms. Basso.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Anything else for the court?
No, Your Honor.
Very good. Thank you. Mr. Patel?
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Jay Patel, I'm back before the court on Devin Henry Johns, 23 CF 147, 23.
Is this under yours?
It is, Judge. And 23 CF 149. This time we moved to continue the case. If the court recalls, I stated that we had to cancel the depositions due to the storm. It kind of shut the county down. We were working with the state to reschedule those depositions.
Okay. We'll do a full cycle continuance.
Yes, Judge.
Is that the first round of deposition?
It is, but it's
it may. Round.
That's right.
Okay. I just want to kind of understand. We're anticipating numerous rounds.
And that's without objection, Your Honor. So I just didn't hear the name that he announced.
Sure.
And then handling one that Mr. Shaw and I, it's under his name.
Okay.
Jay Patel and Tim Shaw on behalf of Cameron Sherenzia, 22 CF 87.
Hold on. Very good.
Last time we were in court, we took this case over from John Reed. We needed to get the transcript because half of what we understood is half of the motion to suppress was done. We needed to get those transcripts. The court reporter's office indicated to us that it would be slower than usual because of the technological issue with the First Circuit, And so we just received those about 5 days ago. In my cursory review of it, there is some investigation we need to do about, there was some mention about a discovery issue, and then we also just received videos that we've never had, and I believe we got those on Thursday or Friday. So I'd ask to continue the case so we can get all of that done and then figure out what we need to do between now and the next pretrial.
Not objection to the continuance, Your Honor, but I'd like to go ahead and get that motion set. So I think if we could get with Mr. Patel and Mr. Shaw, get it with President Boss, so let's at least get it back on the books. If it turns out they don't need to have it, we can always withdraw it, but we know those schedules get pretty full. So we'd like to go ahead and see if we can get this, plan on doing that. The court would.
I don't mind. I'm always wanting to get things moving.
I certainly, I get the sense of urgency. I feel the same way about all my cases. I can't sit here and tell you without speaking to Mr. Shaw and having reviewed the court record that we can do it right this second. I'm a little concerned about the discovery issue, and I believe it was in front of you, and it was stated that discovery issue needs to be brought before the court via motion. So I've just got to look into that.
I'm not familiar with what discovery issue that is, but if Mr. Patel could get me that information. There was only a question about a search warrant, a second search warrant, and that was provided immediately after the hearing. So if there's anything else, please let me know.
Well, let's put it this way. We know we've got an outstanding motion to suppress. It's right, because we're only halfway through it. Even though I know you don't know all the details, you haven't seen the transcript. But it's your understanding we're halfway through it. Won't hold you to it, but we're halfway through it. So we need to go, I think we need to try and go ahead and do that. But if you can't get it done, you guys communicate, you agree, then we don't do it. And if we don't agree, then let's get that for a year. In other words, let's see where we're going, and if you all disagree on how fast we're moving or what needs to be done. The only thing with this case, I know you just got it, so I'm not holding against you, but we're 2 years plus.
I understand.
Not holding that to you because you're new to the game, so I understand that. But as far as us moving it, we kind of have some need to try to, a little more sense of urgency than on normal.
I agree.
Okay? So on the main, we'll continue to 4A.
Thank you, Judge. I have nothing further. May I be excused? Thank you.
Have a good day. Okay, I'm just trying to see who all's here. No, I'll go. We've got some other people, but we passed over some, so I was trying to double back. Clint Couch.
Good morning, Your Honor. May Mr. Losco and I approach?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
The Cottage Formalware, located at 648 North Wilson Street, has all your needs for looking your best. We have homecoming, prom, and pageant dresses. We have tux rental suits, vests, ties. Need something casual? We have that too. Shop Hometown First and visit us on Facebook at the Cottage Boutique and Formal Wear. We're located at 648 North Wilson Street. Call 850-682-2446.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
That's all you got with us, Mr. Couch?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Very good. Mr. Durrell?
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
And may it please the court, Dustin Durrell. My first client today is Mr. Stephen Abbott. Your Honor, we'd like to request a continuance for Mr. Abbott.
Okay. Have you gotten some of your discovery?
We have gotten
I'm in a place where there should be some movement, but certainly a continuance is in order. But
Yes, Your Honor, we have gotten the discovery. Mr. Abbott, I think it was about a month ago, was in a vehicle accident. He's been in the ICU since. So I have gotten the discovery.
He's been in the ICU since?
Well, he was in the ICU. I believe he's been released from the ICU, but it's my understanding he's still in the hospital. But he was there for a good couple of weeks, from my understanding, Your Honor. But I do have the discovery. We are moving the case forward. I just obviously have not really been able to communicate with my client.
very good. We'll continue this before. I just wanted to hear those magic words from making progress.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, next is Mr. Caden Bennett. This was a PTI. I believe I forwarded that to you, Ms. Sharpless. Did you receive that?
I did, and do you need me to print it out, or do you have it?
I don't have a signed copy with me.
You want to pass it, and then it's...
Yeah. No, he's not here. Okay, we can do that. We can just pass him to docket day, Your Honor.
We're going to have a signed PTI.
Very good. Continue to docket 219 at 9 a.m. For PTI.
Thank you, Your Honor. Next is Ms. Catherine Booker. May we approach on Ms. Booker?
You may. Based upon conversation with counsel, the court will continue this matter until 4, 8, and 9 a.m. full cycle.
Next, Your Honor, is Mr. David Cowart. Your Honor, if we can leave him set without subpoenas. I've been discussing the plea. I believe we're very close. He just had a few more questions, wanted to review some more of the discovery before he actually entered the plea. I've got an appointment set with him this week to come over and review the discovery again. But I'd like to make sure he's comfortable.
Docket day next week?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Stay okay with that?
Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, next is Mr. Del Toro, Alejandro Del Toro Ortega. Your Honor, I have received the discovery in this. I'm still reviewing it. If I may have a continuance, we should be able to resolve it next cycle.
Can we announce last? You comfortable?
I don't know if I'm that comfortable, Your Honor.
We'll be If we don't resolve it on the 8th, we'll be expecting a last announcement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, next is Mr. Frank Dixon. I think I'd just like to leave Mr. Dixon set. And that's with subpoenas, Your Honor.
Without?
With
subpoenas?
And
So
Your Honor,
we look like we're going to trial on this. This was the announcement last
Yes,
month.
Your Honor. And I am checking on some availability, and I will let the court and Mr. Durrell know once I have answers. But yes, I am in agreement to leave it on docket day.
You say that again, you're what?
I'm checking on some witness availability situations, but I will have an update for the court and Mr. Durrell on docket day.
Okay, so the defense is
ready for trial.
Ready for trial. And the state?
Your Honor, if I can get all the witnesses here, I will be ready for trial. I will let the court know about that on docket day.
Okay. 2/19 at 9 a.m. Defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Next, Your Honor, is Mr. Dominic Clark, and we do have a written plea agreement for Mr. Clark.
Okay.
Just over this. I have not had the state review it. I apologize, Your Honor. Your Honor, I apologize. If we can pass Mr. Clark, so I'm not rushing the state on that one. Next is Ms. Catherine Gerhardstein. Your Honor, I'd like to request a continuance on that one, and this will be last continuance, Your Honor.
State?
That's fine, Judge.
State will continue this to 4/8, and the court would ask the clerk's minutes reflect this will be the last one.
And next, Your Honor, Mr. J.R. O'Brien. May we approach briefly on Mr. O'Brien?
You may.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law, 850-306-2667.
Cyclone Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview's historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Where I Practice.
And Your Honor, last but not least, I have Mr. Adrian Watson. We'd like to request a continuance for Mr. Watson. I believe we've got one final deposition left in Mr. Watson's case. This is a cold case from back in, I believe it was 2015. Might have even been longer. But there is a very important witness that is currently, or was currently being held at Yazoo City Correctional. He's since been transported while we were trying to get the deposition scheduled. So we're trying to put everything together, make sure he will be available on the date that we had previously set. We were looking for March 20th. I cannot tell the court right now that that is a solid date, but we're trying our best, Your Honor.
This looks to be the last required deposition.
Very last deposition.
Assuming,
yes, Your Honor.
You know, put them up and lose that.
Exactly.
Okay. At least we're making, probably looks like we're bringing it in for landing, and we can really look at do you anticipate with this thing? I mean, are we just prepping this baby for trial? Is that
Your
what
Honor,
we're looking at, or are we looking at a possible resolution?
This
Not
is
holding it to anything. I'm just trying to kind of from a planning standpoint, what we're looking at, obviously this homicides.
I think it greatly depends on what this witness has to say, Your Honor.
I don't know why I asked that question. I the same answer.
Your Honor, this is a special pros case, and the special prosecutors are out of the room. Could we wait for them to
Your
get
Honor,
back?
I was about to say, actually, I did speak to Ms. Davis. I was just about to say that. I did speak to Ms. Davis. She was anticipating a continuance in this case.
Sure.
She did say they are working on deposition.
Okay, well, that is exactly what I heard. So we'll continue it. Hopefully, we'll really be looking hard at it, and we'll go to trial next cycle.
Yes, sir. And so I'll be back up for Mr. Clark with that plea as soon as the state has confirmed the terms.
Very good.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And on the O'Brien case, we're going to be coordinating with my office to schedule a plea, PTI plea. That's on the O'Brien case. We just need to announce it.
Yes. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and that's all you got?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Stewart, we'll go and then we'll start doubling back with some of the folks that are, it seems like they're coming in now. Some of the
Yes,
other
Your Honor.
orders. Mr. Stewart.
May it please the court, Brad Stewart, President Judge, I have one case on the court's docket. I've got Christopher Glenn, Glenn.
Okay, got it.
Case number 23, CF 1110, Judge. We have the second round of deposition scheduled for the end of the month. I would prefer to continue this to the 8:04 docket, Judge, so that we can transcribe our depositions and move forward.
Does it look like these depositions are moving in on a not a resolution necessarily, but a final discovery?
We anticipate that.
Anticipating any other depositions? Or?
I do not, Judge, and this we'll get everything transcribed and work this up for trial.
The court did ask for an update on FDLE last time we were in front of the court. We have obtained the FDLE and sent it in amended discovery.
Do you anticipate we're going next cycle going to this as a targeted?
Depending on what comes out of depositions, Judge, we may do an independent weight analysis with a private provider. That would be the only delay prohibiting it.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can move this one way or another.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good.
That's all I have, Judge. May I have big shoes? Thank you.
Have a nice day. Ms. Dudley came in.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I believe the first case I have is Tyrese Davis in 23 CF 2273.
Okay.
Your Honor, we are still waiting on some discovery in this case. We are set Thursday for a motion to compel.
Do we have the motion to compel?
It's set for Thursday.
Okay. This is a relatively new case, so we'll continue to forward.
And Your Honor, I do have some discovery updates, but I reckon we can wait till Thursday. I don't know if we need to hash that out right now, but discovery is incoming, just so the court knows.
Okay.
What was that court date, Your Honor?
I'm sorry?
What was that court date?
The next cycle is 4/8, April 8th, 9/8.
Yes, sir. The next case I have is John Elmore in 22 CF 2580. We are working on getting some more depositions set. I had asked the ASA about it, but I didn't know. Are you still keeping this case?
Judge, for the state. I replied asking for the time.
I had got confused because then Ms. Sharpless filed a notice of appearance, so I didn't know if she filed it in error. So I didn't know if it was going to be yours or hers.
It was filed in error, and there has been some confusion created.
Gotcha.
I apologize about that.
So we are working on getting depots set. I just got confused depending on who the ASA was going to be, so we can get continuance on that.
Okay. So it's a relatively recent case, as long as we've got some movement. Has there been any depositions?
Your Honor, we have taken some. The case officer did not show to the first round of depots, so he's one of the main people we need to redepose.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. So we'll continue this till
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, the next case I have is Gregory Irvin in 23 CF 2532. I just got the discovery on February 6th, so I just need time to review it and see about setting depositions. I ask for continuance.
Okay, this is a recent case. We'll continue at 4:08.
The next case is Kawana Gamble in 23 CF 1224. I would like to leave this one set for February 20th at 9 a.m. for a plea. I believe that's a miscellaneous day.
Okay. Say that again. When are we scheduled?
For February 20th at 9 a.m. for a plea.
I don't have February 20th. There we go, for miscellaneous. But you want to set it on a miscellaneous day?
Yes, sir.
Is there any reason why we're not just doing it on docket day?
Your Honor, if we can approach real quick, I can explain. There's a reason,
No,
I just...
That's fine. It's not
Yes, sir.
worth doing, that's fine. So we're going to do it in the morning on February 20th.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, the next case I have is Montrez Glover in 23 CF 2357. We just received some additional discovery on the 8th of this month. I'm looking to try to see if we need to set depositions. I'll ask for continuance.
State.
That's correct, Judge.
Court will continue this. This is a relatively new case.
Next one I have is Trevon Harris in 23 CF 1366. I have been talking with the state. I know Mr. Lasco has been in trial, so he's supposed to review it. If we can leave it set P or C for docket day to see if we can get it resolved.
State.
That's correct, Judge. We'd like to put this on the front burner.
So we'll continue docket day for, say, plea or continue, or are we possibly ramping it for a trial?
It would be plea or continue, Your Honor.
Okay.
The,
Very good.
the next one I have is Cornelius Lee. I didn't see Ms. Sandler must have stepped out. That is her case. In 21 CF 1406. I don't know if you want to pass her. She comes back in.
I think we probably should.
Yes, sir. The next I have is Tyler Merritt in 21 CF 2937, 22 CF 2894. We were missing some discovery. I believe Ms. Sharpless sent the reports late Friday afternoon, so I would ask for continuance to give me time to go over that information.
And Your Honor, Ms. Dudley is relatively new to this case, so I know these cases are old, but she should have everything now. So hopefully we won't have any more issues and we can bring this one in for a Lincoln.
So are we far enough along to announce the last?
I just got the report. They just got approved. I haven't even seen them yet. She just sent them to me on, I probably have to set depots on it. They just sent it to me late Friday. So that's what I've been waiting for. I didn't have all the discovery.
I'm assuming on 4-8,
I don't know.
you'll know where
Absolutely.
we're going, one way or another.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll continue until 4-8.
And the next one I have is Derek Reed in 22 CF 96 and 22 CF 654. Ms. Sharpless is maybe like the third prosecutor on this case. There was 2 body cameras I was missing. She's looking into that. Then there's also a witness that we have attempted to depose numerous times, and they're trying to get an address for her so that we can get it deposed because she's an essential witness for the state. If not, I'm going to file a motion on that case. But one of the biggest things is with the trafficking cases, there are 2 videos to show the initial encounter. That the officer said at depots that she had her body camera on. I don't have that video.
And Your Honor, I did make a request to receive that body camera.
Why? A year into this.
And we have body camera. We just don't have that body camera. And she said her body camera was on.
Your Honor, I think initially it wasn't added into the evidence.com case to get into the details. It has to be uploaded and it has to be uploaded by the officer, and the officers are not the person who create the file that gets sent to my office, so sometimes there are videos missing. And so I have requested that they look through and find that video for me so that I can send it to Ms. Dudley.
Is that the last bit of,
That's what I'll need to file my motion, Your Honor, so we can get the case resolved.
so what motion do you anticipate?
My motion, I anticipate my motion to suppress. Motion to suppress.
And the state, when are you planning on getting that to the defense?
Your Honor, I don't know if Ms. Dudley was going to be here on docket day, but if we want to leave it on docket day just for a status of that to make sure that
I'll be
she
here.
she can get it.
Let's just go ahead and continue so we can get an update. What I'd like to do is try and get the motion to suppress,
Yes, sir.
filed. Because if not,
Absolutely.
wait 2 months. And
I agree.
And then we got to schedule that.
Yes, sir.
So we'll come back on 2/19 at 9 a.m. for
Yes, sir.
status. And
Your Honor, if we can go back to Cornelius Lee. Ms. Sandler is back in the courtroom.
okay, go ahead.
21 CF 1406.
Defendant come forward. Cornelius Lee.
There is a waiver on file for him,
Oh,
Your
there's a
Honor.
waiver. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thought we were waiting for the defendant.
No, sir. We're waiting for Ms. Sandler. She had stepped out.
Ah, okay.
This is one we had talked about. State's gonna get an offer, and there was some drawings that we're trying to get photos of for to be sent over. This is a cold case. This is a cold case. So we're just waiting. I know the state was gonna try to get somebody to take photos of the drawings to maybe get them over.
Your Honor, I've arranged for our investigator to go do that. She's out today, but I've asked her to follow up on that. I was in jury trial last week, I apologize. And we are trying to work on getting an offer to Ms. Dudley, but there is progress being made on this case. We also took a deposition not that long ago.
Should we come back on docket? Would an additional week kind of give us maybe figure out where we're going?
I wouldn't mind having at least a status on docket day to make sure that we're making progress with getting everything.
Okay. I'd like to just make sure we're moving in the right direction. I mean,
Yes, sir.
At 9 a.m. That'll be obviously without subpoenas and be a status.
Yes, sir. And I believe that is all I have.
Okay. Very
Thank you,
good.
Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Drill, do you have something else?
Yes, sir. Mr. Dominic Clark with Redwood League.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I approach?
You may.
And Your Honor, it's my understanding the state will be filing the score sheet, but we have no objection thereto.
Okay.
At this time, the defendant would withdraw his previously entered plea of not guilty, enter a plea of no contest, as charged on count 1, adjudicate guilt, 3.5 years of drug offender probation, 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. curfew, adjustable for work and school, $515 in court costs. On count 2, adjudicate guilty, 1129 probation, $1,000 fine, 50 hours of community service, or you can buy that out at the statutory rate, a 1-year driver's license suspension, 1 victim impact panel, multi-offender DUI school, which I believe Mr. Clark says he's already completed, so just show that certificate to probation. 30-day vehicle impoundment, 1-year ignition interlock device, and Your Honor, the installation of an ignition interlock device is a basis to dismiss the impound. So I don't believe the state has any objection, but as long as the court is okay with it, as soon as Mr. Clark presents that to probation, the impound will be waived. The proof of installation of ignition interlock. If not, then we'll have to do the impound. And if I need to provide supplemental on that, Your Honor, I believe it's subsection J in the DUI statute dealing with the basis for dismissing the impound. Random urinalysis once per month, and must return the portable breath test by mail or in person to Matt McKeehan with court services within 24 hours. On count 3, adjudicate guilt, 1129 probation. All counts are concurrent with each other. and the state has no objection to transferring supervision to Georgia.
Your Honor, that's the state's agreement, and the state will get the score sheet for the court. His total sentence points are 34 points, so Your Honor, this is not a downward departure.
Would counsel approach?
Yes, sir.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briar Patch Realty. Helping qualified heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday.
Mr. Clark, would you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, so you heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement, and those terms are contained in your written plea agreement. Have you can put your hand up?
Yes.
You can put your hand up.
Oh, my bad.
Did you go over this in detail with your attorney?
Yes.
And you read this plea agreement closely?
Yes.
And you understand that by entering into this plea agreement here today, you're waiving the right to go to a trial and to force the state to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt and all that. Do you understand
Yes.
that? You believe this is in your best interest to do that?
Yes.
And have you had all your legal questions answered regarding this plea agreement?
Yes.
Based upon that, the court will, in count one, well, first of all, there'll be an adjudication of guilt on all three counts. As to count one, you're sentenced to 3.5 years drug offender probation. There are some additional terms and conditions that are contained in this. I'll go over a few, but they're all that are contained in this written plea agreement that were just announced by your attorney. But there will be a 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. curfew, court costs. Count two is 1129 probation with a $1,000 fine, community service hours, driver's license suspension, DUI. So there's a number of things that are all related to the DUI that are contained. Have you gone over all these with your attorney and understand that?
Yes.
And then at count three again, 1129. All these counts will be concurrent, and those that all run together. So it's the greatest one is the 3.5, obviously. And the state does not have objection to the defendant transferring the supervision to Georgia, but the court's not ordering it. That's something that you have to deal with probation. They require you to fill out a form. I use $100 filing fee or something. But so they're not objecting. That doesn't. The court's not ordering it here, so you don't. It's not automatic. You got to jump through some additional hoops. Do you understand that?
I got a quick question. I don't live here, so how would that go about?
Well, you need to live here until you get this done. Talk to your lawyer. I mean, it is what it is. You definitely need to live here until that's resolved. I don't know how long will it normally take. It's not. We're not talking months, but it might be days or a couple of weeks. I don't know.
It depends. If we can prove that you're a Georgia resident, you might be able to leave today, but if you're not technically a Georgia resident, it can be up to 45 days. So it depends.
Okay. And I have spoken to probation about him transferring, Your Honor. As far as I was aware, it should be, especially with Mr. Clark's residency in Georgia, should be relatively quick to get it done. I was told maybe a day or two when I spoke to probation.
That's what probation just announced in court, so we appreciate that input. But just to understand that it's a separate process. They're over there and we're here. You're still willing to go through with this, to resolve this through this plea agreement, even though that part of it's out there just a little bit?
I mean, when would I find out?
It would be through probation. Essentially, we'd have to enter the plea, you'd go to probation, and then you'd start the process. So you wouldn't find out until you're in the middle of it.
Okay.
So you want to continue with this
Yes.
plea agreement?
Yes.
Even though there's a little bit of uncertainty. It looks like, I don't want to make promises, but it looks like both your attorney and probation, if you can prove you're a resident, that's the key, and according to your attorney, you are legally a resident, and I'm sure you can show you got a driver's license or something up there, or?
I don't have a driver's license, but all my bills and everything else is in there.
So, whatever, but if that's the case, then, but I don't want to hear, well, the judge said he thought he, I'm telling you clearly that that's not my decision. That's
Okay.
their decision. But, so with that, the court will accept the plea agreement. There is an outstanding capias revocation of bond on this case, of course withdrawn, based on this plea.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
I'll see her, and then we'll speak with her. Okay. And I believe that's all I have now, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Powell, I saw you coming out.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Bo Powell on behalf of Brandon Lanew.
Okay.
This is Miss Sandler's case, Judge.
Sandler. Is this the Lanew case, Ms. Sandler?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead, Mr. Powell.
Thank you, Judge.
And that's the case number 22 CF 1856.
We're asking for a continuance. We have depositions scheduled out in April, and I don't believe the state's objecting. We've done.
We don't have depositions till April?
There's been 2 rounds, and we've got about 2 more to do, and so this is also Mr. Griffith also has a co-defendant, and so trying to coordinate everything's been. It's hard to get a date.
May we approach Your Honor?
You may.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Days Tire Pros makes buying tires simpler. They offer a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and a great selection of Michelin tires. No matter what you drive or where you have driven, Michelin has a tire to fit any need. Visit our store in Crestview or online at Days.
We'll continue this to the next cycle on 4/8 and 9 a.m. for Mr. Lanew.
Judge, Mr. Griffiths has a co-defendant that is an inmate. Were you addressing inmates, or were you like Mr. Griffith? Okay. Very good.
They don't have any. We don't have any of them open.
Very good.
We're doing all those on Wednesday. But have him remind me of this case when
Very
he
good.
discusses that.
I will. Thank you. Have Justin Busby. It's actually on the docket under Tangi Carter, and I'm a co-counsel on this case.
Carter?
Yes, sir. The attorney's last name is under Carter.
Hold on, let me find it. Carter? I don't have Carter.
The client's name is Justin Busby, but it's listed under.
I understand that, but
Oh.
I don't have an attorney in Carter.
I don't see her number.
Do you have Justin Busby on the docket?
What is it? U-H-E-R? Is that like a prior counsel maybe or something?
I thought it was under.
Tangi Ewer.
Ewer,
I
okay.
believe it's also Carter, Your Honor, but that's the same attorney that we're talking about.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you can speak for him, I'm comfortable for it.
Yes, Judge, and I am co-counsel on this
Okay.
case.
Very good.
The state had filed a motion to revoke Mr. Busby's bond, and I have filed a motion to compel and a request for an evidentiary hearing on that. And so I would like to get a date to hear that. We're asking for screenshots and an affidavit that was filed by the alleged victim's father, and that has not been provided
It
to
actually
us.
has, I'm sorry. It
Are
actually
you
has
good?
been
You've sent
provided.
it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when did you
I
send
believe
it?
it was sent on Thursday afternoon.
Okay.
So it has been provided, Your Honor, in response to the motion to compel. We were just waiting for that from information.
What is the motion you're waiting for on Thursday?
It's taken, well, the motion, Your Honor, we had filed a motion to revoke his bond, what pretrial services did for internet access. And it was based on an affidavit and on some screenshots. And Mr. Powell's office had asked for those, and we did provide those.
The reason why I'm saying that is that the court signed the order revoking the bond.
Correct.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand why we're having a hearing on an order that's already.
Well, if they've provided those, because we haven't seen what the basis for the bond revocation was. It was based on screenshots, which we didn't have.
Well, I think what we need to do is, court's has revoked bond. And then you need to file something if you feel that.
The next step would be to file a bond motion. I understand. I wanted to see the affidavit and the screenshots.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm letting you know. I wasn't sure you were aware that the order has already been signed.
Yes, sir. I did see that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if the order's been signed, you can't have a hearing on it if the order's been signed. There's something else that has to happen.
Well, the hearing would have been on the motion to compel the affidavit and the screenshots from the state, and they said they provided that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you provided it, so we don't need to do the Thursday hearing?
Correct, Your Honor.
Correct.
Okay.
Otherwise, I will be filing a bond motion, and I'll get that set with your office.
Okay, perfect. I'm just trying to kind of procedurally figure out where we're going. So.
And where are we with the case?
And so the next hearing on this Busby case is what?
I'd be asking for a continuance.
That's without objection, but if you want depositions, please, let's get those on the books.
So, is Mr. Busby in custody?
He has been picked up on the order. I believe he's in Mississippi.
So I'm going to continue it. I'm going to continue this until 4/10 for inmates. If he does get out, you got to make sure he gets moved over to the 4/8 dock.
Of course. Thank you. And the next matter I had is Thomas Cole. Mr. Cole, present approaching.
Hold on just a second. Okay, go ahead.
Judge, we're going to leave Mr. Cole's matter on docket day. We anticipate a plea on docket day.
Very good. 2:19, 9 a.m. for a plea.
Thank you, Judge. Just wait. Now, Juan Carlos Bautista. There's two cases on the docket.
Very good.
And depositions are scheduled for
In the
April.
two cases, go ahead, just for the record, 22 CF 1075 and 22 CF 1076.
Thank you, Judge. Depositions are scheduled for April 5th, and so asking for the April 8th pretrial.
State.
That's correct, Your Honor. No objection. No continuance.
Court will continue this to 4/9. I think that's all yours, isn't it?
Thank you, Judge.
Have a nice day.
Have a good day. Thank you.
So, I don't have anybody else that's on the list that's signed in, so I don't know I'm just going to let you guys fight it out about who got here first. Come on. I just want to go in order to who got here, but the list is.
Thank you. Ken Ruth for Shane Donaldson, 23 CF 865. Your Honor, we're going to announce, set it for the docket day if we can, and announce ready for trial if, pending a possible plea offer.
Well, there is there a plea offer?
There's a plea offer.
Okay,
it was just modified, so we'll be ready either way.
It's going to be ready either way as well, Your Honor.
So, plea or trial?
Yes.
Plea or trial.
Okay, very good. We'll come back on docket day. That's 2/19 next week. Plea or trial that time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks.
Judge, good morning.
Good morning.
First matter is Seth Beavers. We're requesting this be continued, and there's no objection from the state of Maine.
Hold.
I have it as number 43, Judge.
Beavers, yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
It's 23 CF 694.
It is. And Judge, I understand there's no objection. We're asking it to be continued.
That's correct, Your Honor. No objection. There is a deposition we need to take.
Serious case. We'll continue this.
Yes, sir, it is. The next matter, 44, is Craig. Your Honor, we'd like to leave that on for 2/19, anticipating a plea to be announced on that date.
Very good. We'll continue this to docket day.
Yes, sir.
2/19 at 9 a.m. for.
Yes, sir. The next matter is Downing, D-O-W-N-E-Y. We're asking that that be continued, and there's no objection from the state.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
That's a recent filing.
Yes, sir.
Come back on 4/8, 9 a.m.
Judge, the next matter is Edge. We're asking that that be continued. We have, maybe this morning, filed a motion to suppress that will coordinate a hearing with your office and the state, if that's all right with the court.
That's fine. We'll set it for, just to keep it on the docket for
Yes.
4/8. But in
Yes, sir.
anticipation, a motion to suppress to be coordinated with my office. Those are done in the afternoon, but they need to,
Yes, sir.
kind of call and coordinate.
Very well. The next matter is Fournier. That's a case with Mr. Lasco that I discussed continuing it with him. He had no objection, so we're asking that be continued for the next cycle.
That's correct.
This is a recent case as well.
It is,
We'll
Judge.
continue that to 4/18.
Judge, the final matter I have under my name is Carson Ray Honeycutt.
Excuse me, I said 4/18, I meant
4/8.
4/8. Thank you.
Yeah, I had written 4/8. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Final one I have is Honeycutt. There was a hearing set for the 15th that's disposed of itself.
Okay.
But we are asking for continued. Depositions have been scheduled, and Your Honor, if you look on the docket, it is a serious matter, and they're necessary, Your Honor.
So, have the depositions been scheduled?
Judge, I can't.
I believe they have been scheduled, Judge. They were scheduled once, then we had that storm roll through, so I believe they've been rescheduled.
Okay.
That's my recollection as well.
If I'm wrong, we'll get them rescheduled.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll continue this to the next cycle, 4/8, 9 a.m.
That's what I have, Your Honor. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Flowers.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Chris Crawford on behalf of Brandon Morris. And the case is State of Florida versus Jacob Butler, 23 CF 431. Mr. Brandon Morris is the attorney of record. Mr. Butler is here with us, Your Honor, and we have an executed plea and sentence agreement.
I got to find it on my document here.
Absolutely.
Who's the attorney of record?
Brandon Morris.
Is that who is under here this morning? Sorry.
More likely than not is.
There you go. Sorry.
Good deal. May I approach, Your Honor? This is the executed plea and sentence, and I have the score sheet with me, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you.
I have mine real small.
Okay, well, I'll try and track it with you. Oh, my goodness.
Yes, Your Honor.
So are you, is the defense okay with the score sheet as well?
Yes, Your Honor. We have no objection.
Very good. If you'll please announce the plea agreement.
Yes, Your Honor. Based upon the plea, the state will no pros count 1, and Mr. Butler will plea his charge to count 2. The plea is nolo contendere, and for count 2, there will be a withhold of adjudication, 5 years probation, all standard terms and conditions of probation. There will be sex offender counseling and treatment, but this is not meant to place any designation, so there will be no designation.
So, just point of clarification, the probation is not sex offender probation?
That's correct, Your Honor. It's not a qualifying charge and it's not contemplated.
Very good. Go ahead, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. There will be no unsupervised contact with minors, no electronic contact with minors, and the meaning, which is in parentheses, is no contact via social media or any other internet access. Probation will monitor his devices with whatever appropriate program they use. There will be mental health evaluation and any recommended treatment that follows.
State?
That is the state's agreement, Your Honor, and probation is now using a program called RemoteCom, and it's contemplated that would then be installed in his computer so they can monitor that for us.
Okay. Mr. Butler, would you raise your right hand, sir? You swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you heard the terms of your plea agreement from your attorney, and I see those same terms are contained in the written plea agreement that you have signed.
Yes, Your Honor.
So my first question to you is, did you read this closely?
Yes.
And do you understand that by entering this plea agreement, you're waiving some valuable legal rights, the right to go to a trial, and the right to force the state to prove their case? All those things are being resolved in order to get a final resolution of this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you gone over this agreement in detail with your attorney to make sure you had all your legal questions answered?
Yes, Your Honor.
You believe it's in your best interest today to enter into this plea agreement as stated?
Yes, sir.
Very good. The court will accept your plea agreement. I'm going to give you some gratuitous advice. Okay? This is a real tricky situation because it says no unsupervised contact with minors or no contact with minors on social media and internet. You know, you ought to bag social media and internet while you're on this. You just need to stay off. And I know it's hard to do in modern age, but you got your liberty at stake, and because if you violate this, the state's going to be asking for DOC time. Okay, so the last thing we want is some mistake to be made. We're not trying to trick people, but unfortunately, a lot, as in like more than half that enter into these type of agreements get violated. Half. So take it seriously. Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do have, even though you just agreed to this, you do have 30 days to appeal this. Any questions, counsel?
No, Your Honor. I circled the court costs, which should be $515.
Yes, sir.
And I went over that with them.
Very good. I appreciate that. Okay. Thank you very much.
Your Honor, I have one more. It's Mr. Nathan Gray, and it is under my name, Chris Crawford. And unfortunately, Mr. Gray is a much older case, and we still need additional time. There's out-of-state witnesses that we're coordinating the deposition of. Truthfully, in about mid-September, the state and I had to redo discovery, revamp everything, and we've been working somewhat fresh from there. But we are coordinating, we are moving forward. One of the things that we did is we filed a motion for subpoena ducis tecum directed at certain medical records. This is with HCA Hospital. The hospital has spoken back to my office and said that they needed clarity for that subpoena. We filed an amended motion to correct the subpoena. I don't believe the state objects to it. We can send a proposed order and the corrected subpoena to the clerk to be issued. The last thing that we're working out is the location of depositions. I believe it's the policy of the state attorney's office here to have the depositions done in their office. While it's convenient for the state, it is a secure building, meaning I can't walk in and out of it if I had to take a call from my office. We're working towards maybe doing the depositions here in the courthouse because they have another office here, but we're moving through that issue.
Is that a common issue? That's not
Can we
something I
approach?
hear much.
Can we approach?
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
Check out the soaps, bath bombs, and other bath and body products, all made by hand with natural ingredients at Hub City Soapery. Visit us at 1092 North Verdon Boulevard in Crestview or shop online at hubcitysoapery.com. Hub City Soapery.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestviewagent.com.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
Man, I got this. Let's roll.
Fight fire with fire, take one.
Have you been injured in an accident and need righteous representation? Call us. We fight fire.
Working hard, on a dated case. And, appreciate you continuing to do so.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you, Ron.
I think that's all you got.
That's all I got. That is. Thank you.
Counsel.
Good morning, Your Honor. I've got Abraham Evans. It's 22 CF 1494.
Would you state your name for the record, counsel?
Glenn Swiat.
Thank you, Mr. Saul.
Yes, sir. We had some difficulties getting this case to progress, but we wrapped up depositions last week. Ms. Sharpless and I have agreed that we can leave this on for docket day.
Okay.
For a plea or continue.
Okay.
We're negotiating.
Very good.
And that's all.
Come back on 2/19 for a plea or continue. Let's see. Okay.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Shaw?
Good morning, Judge. Tim Shaw for first case is Savion Allen. Judge, we recently took some depositions in the case. The state has indicated to me that they've sent an amended offer, so if we can leave it on for Monday, we may have it resolved.
Okay. Continue. Docket day 2/19.
Thank you, Judge.
Plea
Or continue. Yes,
Or
Judge. P or C, Judge.
Not going to trial?
That's correct. Next case is Roy Delano Alston, 23 CF 1200. We filed a motion to suppress. It is currently set for 4/16 is what I've got on my notes here. It would have been done recently because I filed it last week.
So even though we've got a motion to suppress after the next hearing, I'm going to go ahead and still do it just so we can kind of, you can confirm we're doing, there's not a problem. I might be able to be helpful if they're ready.
That's perfectly fine, Judge. Thank you.
Be ready.
We'll
So
set-
the notice just hadn't been gotten in there?
Apparently not.
Okay.
Judge, next case is Christopher Paul Berry. Obviously this is a very old case. We are at least the third lawyers on the case. We are asking to continue it a cycle. We have been efforting very diligently getting the transcripts from some previous depositions that were taken in these cases. The original depositions apparently were taken by the public defender's office, and they just recorded them maybe instead of having a court reporter there, and they're trying to track those down for us. I've got multiple emails back from my office to theirs trying to get those done. The state has indicated, I don't believe she objects to one final continuance, at least on one of the cases that needs to go. There are two case numbers, of course, Judge.
Which one's the one that you're doing?
The
announcing
19
last?
CF 1466, Judge, is the most. But they're going to work together, Judge.
Yes.
You'll work it out, but I just want to put it on the record that the clerk's minutes, that this will be the last continuance on
Yes, sir.
19 CF 1466.
I understand the court's accommodation for that. I would, because this case has fallen by the wayside before, I would love to get one of these cases done, but obviously I don't want to create 3850 issues by him not having things he needs to go to trial. So
Is it 1265 that you'd be going first on, or which?
Very likely.
That's the older one, I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
very likely I would do the older one first. And
You
this
said
case.
just the opposite.
Right, so I just want to make sure we're
Okay, that's
on the
all
same
right.
page.
So the last announcement is for the 19 CF 1265. That's fine. At least we'll get one of them going.
And yeah, if we could just get one of them done by next cycle, Your Honor, I think we'll be making some progress in this case.
Thank you, Judge.
When you say getting resolved by the next, you talking about going to trial?
Either resolve both of them globally or get one tried at least. That's my
On
plan
the
for
next
next
cycle.
cycle. Next cycle, yes.
That's correct.
Not this cycle. We're not going to trial this cycle on these.
Correct.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you, Judge. Next case is Jeffrey Scott Botcher. That is 23 CF 2503. We do not have discovery. Well, I haven't seen discovery yet. I think Ms. Sharpless has indicated it's either been said or being sent.
I was just tracking that down, Your Honor. If it has not been sent, I will get on that, but this is a relatively new case, and I don't know when he filed the notice, but I know it's
Correct.
relatively new.
It is a new case, so we'll continue it to 4/8. I think it's maybe the first time up.
Judge, next is Chance Nicholas Boyd. We'd like to leave that set for Monday. We anticipate it being resolved on Monday as a P or C. Is that what you, P or C?
Try to work it on that.
A plea or what?
Or continue, Judge, on 2/19? I believe you already took care of Chirenzia.
Well, if on that case, the single count case, I know you're anticipating a plea, or if we don't get a plea, is there any reason why we can't go to trial on that? Ms. Sharpless?
Your Honor, I will.
Possession of weapon by
I will check on witness availability, and if we cannot work it out, I will let the court know if I can go to trial. I will.
Okay, so I'm going to say plea or trial, and if you can't go to trial, you got to give me good reasons.
I understand.
Next case, Judge, is Robert Leroy Engelken's. Depositions are currently set in that case 4/17 of 24. If the court wants to leave it on 4/8, just so we keep a handle on it, that's fine as well.
Without objection.
Continue to 4/8. Excuse me, 4/8.
Thank you, Judge. Next case is Nathaniel Fannin. That's 23 CF 1505. We have a motion to modify the conditions of pretrial release set for 2/15 at 9 a.m. If it might be good just to leave it on for 2/19 as well for a plea or continuance. I think the state is having a hard time locating the alleged victim in the case.
That's correct, Judge. If we want to leave this on docket day, that's fine. There are more victims than just the alleged victim in this case, because there's an escape charge and there's also obstructing justice. So we can set a plea to continue on the 19th and see if me and Mr. Shaw are able to work something out.
But we'll see you again on the 15th as well.
Okay, very good.
Next case, Judge, is John Geiger. That's 23 CF 695. We have taken, I think, most, if not all, the depositions in the case. My client has been getting some help, some treatment out in the state of California, where his family is from. In that regard, I provided some treatment information to the state last week that was provided to me. I think the state and I agreed to see if we could resolve it Monday, or
if we could set this on docket day, I think that would be best. Please continue.
We'll continue this till docket day on 2/19 for a plea or continue.
Thank you, Judge. Jerry Lee Hollingsworth. Judge, that's with Ms. Basso. This will be ready to go on the next docket, Judge. It's something that it's getting old and we need to resolve it. It will be ready to trial on the April 8th docket.
Well, I hate to break this to you. That's what you told me. That's what you told me the last time. We announced last time. We can't go to trial this time?
Judge, can we approach?
Sure.
Man, I got this. Let's roll.
Fight fire with fire, take one.
Have you been injured in an accident and need righteous representation? Call us. Because we fight fire. Damn thing ain't working. Whoa!
Not cool, bro. I'm Attorney Coy Browning. Personal injury is no joke. Just ask him.
Injured? Take a breath. Call Coy.
Day 2/19 for a plea or continue, but the court could, the clerk's minutes could reflect that this will be the last convenience, the real last.
Thank you, Judge. The next is John Edmund Holmes. Judge, we have deposition set 5/21 on Mr. Holmes' case. This case is one that had We had anticipated resolving it by a PTI. The state, I think, has done everything they could to try to do that. Well, I'll let the state speak for themselves on that, but we just need to we can put it on 4/8.
When did you say the depositions weren't until?
5/21. That's
Depositions aren't for like 3 months? There's all kind of good reasons why we can't, but I'm just wondering, that seems to be a long.
That's the date I have now.
The deaths are of the victim?
Yes, correct.
Judge, I can't control the victim's schedule, but
Okay,
you
so
know,
if
we are
it's the
pushing.
reason for the victim, then there's nothing we can do about it. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
So we're going to keep it on the next cycle, just to
Keep it
track
going.
it, but anticipating depositions.
That's fine. That's fine, Judge. Last case that I have is William Jerry Jenkins. That is 23 CF 2734. We have not gotten the discovery or the videos yet, so we'll ask to put that on 4/8. This is a new case.
Court will continue to 4/8.
I believe that's all I have, Judge.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Rare?
Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, David Rare. All my cases will be under the lapella firm name, Judge, if that helps you find them. The first I've got, Judge, is Mr. John Burkos. He's present with me. And we've got an agreement with the state. Can I approach the plea and score sheet?
Sure. Would you please announce the plea? Let me find your case though first.
I'll wait, Judge.
Sorry. Very good. Got it. Thank you.
Judge, Mr. Burkos is entering a plea of no contest as charged. As to count one, we have withhold 18 months probation, $615 in court costs, completing a substance abuse evaluation and any recommended treatment, 24 hours community service work, maintain gainful employment, otherwise 2 job applications per week until employed, and no drugs without prescription during probation. As to count 2, misdemeanor paraphernalia, withhold, and 1129 probation concurrent.
And defense okay with the score sheet?
It is, Judge, is correct.
Your Honor, that's the state's.
State's agreement?
That was the state's agreement, Your Honor.
Mr. Burkos, would you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
So you heard your attorney state the terms of the plea agreement, and I see you have signed those same terms in the written plea agreement. Did you read this closely?
Yes, sir.
And go over it in detail with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Make sure you had all your legal questions answered?
Yes, sir.
Importantly, you're waiving some valuable legal rights. Gone over those with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Right to go to a trial? Important. That's the big one. Okay. You understand, believe it's in your best interest to enter into this plea?
Yes, sir.
Based upon the testimony, the court will accept your plea. As to count 1, the possession of a controlled substance, there'll be a withhold of adjudication. And the defendant is sentenced to 18 months probation with standard court cost. As a condition of the probation, the defendant must complete a substance abuse evaluation and any recommended treatment, 24 hours community service, maintain gainful employment or 2 applications, no drugs without medical prescription. Okay, and then count 2, withhold adjudication also, 11 months, 29 days probation. That would be concurrent. We'll run the same time as the first one. Okay. Questions?
No, sir.
Good luck.
And Judge, just to clarify on that, the way it was announced, the misdemeanor is also withhold. Just clarify that. Next judge I've got on your docket is Jay Burns. About a week and a half ago, Judge, we completed the deposition of the alleged victim in the case. The primary officer in the case did not appear after being served. We're going to have to attempt one further time for her to appear for that depo, so I'd ask for a 1 cycle continuance.
That's correct, Your Honor. No objection.
Continue to 4A.
Next judge I've got is Gregory Cofield. For Mr. Cofield's case, Judge, we've done several rounds of couple of rounds of depositions. We have to reset 2 for Zoom depositions for folks that are no longer in the area. I've got a tentative date scheduled for March 26th for those, and so I'd like to continue this 1 cycle.
That's without objection. If there's any way you can move it up, just get with me.
I'm sorry?
I said if there's any way we can move those up, just get with me, because I'll make some time. But otherwise, there's no objection.
Okay.
Your Honor, if
Is
I
that
may...
the last, I'm sorry, is that the last of the depositions that you anticipate?
I'm anticipating those will be the last two.
Yes, ma'am.
I represent Mr. Cofield on his 2 other cases. I don't know if you want to wait to or do this.
Judge, you want to do him, he's here for his public defender case as well, Mr. Cofield?
I already had him sign a waiver appearance, so
Oh,
he
did
can
you?
get out
Okay,
if
no,
he
I saw
wanted
him
to.
earlier and talked
Yeah.
to him. Perfect. That's up to you, Judge, if you want to address those now.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know if you'd want to do an hour wait. So I spoke with Mr. Cofield as well, and we were planning to just ask for a continuance, given that he is this new case, so that the 2 of us could speak and speak with the state attorney and see if we could work something out.
Very good.
The case number, docket ending 2028 and 0377 are the ones on which I represent him.
And Your Honor, I represent the state on the violations of probation and that Ms. Farkas has, and I have no objection to it continuing to track with Mr. Lupella and Ms. Bossel's case.
Very good. So we'll continue all of those and we'll track them together on the 4A.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, back for the record, David Ware. The next I have is Patrick Epps, EPPS. Judge, in his case, I've already reached out to mental health court about an evaluation process with him, with Ms. Thornton. What I'd like to do is, if we can move him to the mental health court docket so we can begin the observation process and put him on that docket. I believe February 21st at 2:30 will be Judge Schlecter's next hearing date for that.
So what do we need to do in this case?
What I've done
When
before...
did you say his mental health hearing is?
So he's not set for it yet, but Judge Schlecter's next mental health court docket is February 21st at 2:30 in the afternoon. What I would typically do for vet court or drug court is have the court basically give his next court date be that specialty court's docket, because they'll have to go through at least 1 or 2 observation periods of court as they go through the evaluation process. If they're not a candidate for the program, they'll be moved back to this court's docket.
Your Honor, I'm the prosecutor for mental health court, so I will be there. I don't know if he's
Do we
going
need
to
to do anything on this case? Do we need to set it out for 4-8 or just it'll...
It depends. I think the court can do it either way. We can have a status hearing date on 4/8 and also set him for the mental health court docket, I believe. For
Yeah,
February
this is the way
21st.
to get Ms. Thornton to evaluate him. I'm in no way saying that we can work mental health court out, but if this is the way to get Ms. Thornton to evaluate him, and if the teams does not approve him for mental health court, he'll be put back on Your Honor's docket, moved from Judge Schlecter's docket back to Your Honor's docket.
Okay, so we don't need to have the status for 4-8?
No, Judge.
I don't think so, Judge.
If we order him set for 2/21 and the mental health court he is not a candidate for the program, they'll reset him to your docket.
Okay, very good.
And
No.
okay. And then last, for my cases, Judge, Christopher Goins. Without going into much detail, Judge, I'd like to ask for a final continuance on this case. I do expect to be able to resolve it in the April trial cycle. We're just doing some final resolutions on that case.
Can we announce this will be the last continuance?
I'm comfortable doing that, Judge.
Say this to your...
Based upon the statement by counsel, this court asked the clerk to reference this will be the last continuance.
And then those should be all of mine and Mr. Lupella's cases, Judge. I am covering for Mr. John Madden. He had one case on your docket.
Okay.
He had Devontae Bryant.
Right.
My understanding is Mr. Bryant, this is his first pretrial. Mr. Madden's going through discovery and setting depositions and is asking for a continuance.
Very good. The court will continue to 4-8. This is the first time I'm on that case.
Perfect. That's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Very good.
And Your Honor, I did speak with Mr. Madden, and that's correct.
Okay.
No objection.
Good morning.
Morning, Judge. I'm Parker Smith. I represent Ruthie Felero, F-E-L-A-R-O.
Okay.
Judge, you may remember this case. It had a lot of drama in it, and unfortunately her male partner has died. Therefore, we're going to need another date to get the discovery concluded in this little case. which I would expect would plea very promptly once we get the discovery.
So is this the last continuance?
I've heard that all day. This would only...
I actually write them down, so I have to...
This would only be, I think, our second continuance. And it's a minimal case.
It is a new case, so I'm not gonna put a last on you, so I thought that was an older case. Somehow I thought that was a 22 case, but it's
That's
late 23 case.
late 23 case.
We'll continue this till 4/8. It will not be your last continuance, so.
Thank you.
Depending on how, hopefully you can move forward the rest of it.
We're going to plead. We're going to plead.
Do you have some deposition? Do you have discovery plan?
Not at this time. We're trying to move it forward and get it over.
Okay, very good.
It's always good to see the court again.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Keach.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
For the record, Jeremy Keach. First case on the docket would be State of Florida versus James Banks III. He's present before the court. And that is 22 CF 2776. I spoke with the state last week, and we're both in agreement with the continuance in this matter.
Your Honor, that's without objection. And
Where are we at with everything? We're over a year old on this case.
May we approach?
Sure. Conversation with counsel, the court will grant the motion to continue. We'll continue it until 4/8 and 9/8.
Next case on the docket would be State of Florida versus Jessica Fickett, 22 CF 2574. She's present, coming before the court. The court has earlier this morning continued the co-defendant's case to April 8th. That was a case with Ms. Dudley for the purpose of trying to get the deposition of the lead investigator, among other things. We'd ask to move it to the April 8th as well.
State.
There is no objection, Your Honor.
Without objection, the court will continue this till 4/8.
Thank you.
Next.
Can I be excused, Your Honor?
You may.
Thank you.
And the last two cases are the same individual, Maricia Knox, also on the docket is Maricia Reed, 22 CF 1305 and 22 CF 13553. And Judge, we can just leave these cases set for plea or trial. I'm actually out of town on the 19th, so it would be permissible to park that case for docket day on on your miscellaneous date for the 20th, just so we can get a status update prior to trial.
What do we anticipate? Is that you anticipate a plea on that day?
We have made for lack of a better word, a counteroffer to the state. They have not fully considered it, I think, yet. But
the reason why I'm asking is that the last cycle was announced last. I just want to know whether we're ramping this for a trial or...
We will try one of the cases this cycle if we don't get it worked out.
And, Your Honor, I will present to the court. I've sent out my subpoenas on 2/20. I will have a report to the court as to whether or not the state will be ready to go. I just need to make sure all of my subpoenas have been served.
Okay.
And that
so we'll continue this until 2/20. We're going to do it in the morning. We'll just do it in the morning. 9 a.m. Let me make sure we've got the other. Let's see. Do we just have the one case, 1353?
That's the one. That's the case that's intended to be.
Names and
that's the case that's intended to be tried. There's also a 1305 case that's out there as well.
I don't see that one on the docket for today.
It's on there.
Okay, what's the other case number?
22 CF 1305.
Okay. So we'll track both those together and we'll come back on both of them just for status on 2/20. for plea or trial.
Perfect. All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
That's all I have, Judge. May I be excused? Thank you.
Morning, Your Honor.
You announce.
Dustin Harsher for the record. I have one case I'm covering for attorney Tony Henderson. That's Christopher Gardner, 23 CF 107. Your Honor, I just spoke with our office, and I believe depositions are scheduled on April 17th at 9:30, so the defense will be requesting a continuance.
When do they schedule?
April 17th at 9:30.
State?
That's correct, Judge. We're moving quickly on this case. I believe their entry of appearance was set on the 1st of this month, so we've already got depots scheduled.
Okay, very good. We'll continue this matter until 4/8 and 9 a.m.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. And I have one case, Judge, Jalen Driver,
Okay.
23 CF 0499. I recently filed a motion to suppress in this case, Judge. I have a phone conference scheduled with the state and your assistant at 1:30 this afternoon.
Just set it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead and set that whenever we get it on the docket. I'm going to, on the books, but go ahead and set the, we'll continue this on 4/8 just to make sure and have a status. 4/8 and 9 on the next cycle, but the motion to suppress will be, to be determined.
All right. And just for the record, Judge, I had to file the motion kind of quickly, so I anticipate filing either an amended motion or a memorandum to go along with it. I already advised the state of that. All right. That's all I have, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Noakes.
Good morning, Your Honor. First case I have is Jasmine Bankston. Bankston's here, Judge. I was just appointed on January 12th, and I have not received discovery. I'd ask to continue the matter.
Your Honor, I did see when preparing today that discovery was not sent. I've asked it to be sent to the current defense attorney, Mr. Noakes.
I'm sorry, what's the last thing you said?
Oh, I've asked for it to be sent to him.
So we'll continue for it.
Yes, sir. So the new date is?
4/8, April 8th, 9 a.m.
Okay. Judge, then I have Brittany Brown. What do you want to just leave it set? Judge, leave it set for docket day without subpoenas.
Okay. And would that be for a plea or continue? Or
Yes, sir. So that's 219. Okay. Judge, Stacy Crowley, Judge, she's here. She's actually outside, I think, in a wheelchair. I told her I would leave her case set for docket day. There's some extenuating circumstances, but it would be a plea or continuance.
Mr. Noakes did just get appointed to this case.
Okay. Court will continue this till 2/19, plea or continue. 9 a.m.
Judge, then I have Brooke Davis, and we've had to reschedule depositions for this coming Friday, so I would just say leave it set for docket day, plea or continuance.
Very good. 2/19, plea or continue.
Alicia Dean, I'd like to leave it set for docket day. It's been around for a while, and I'm contemplating filing some type of motion. So,
Is there an offer on the table, or has there been, where are we at? Is discovery completed? We're a year and a half into.
Judge, we've completed discovery. It's our position is a constructive possession case. Of course, the state's position is they think they can prove possession, so.
So, is there an offer on the table?
The last offer, I think, was a trafficking amount offer, Judge, like 7 years or something like that.
That's correct,
Okay. So,
Judge, I'm hoping the
Is there a
state,
reason why we should not withdraw?
Your Honor, I thought Mr. Nopes just said he had a motion that he was.
Judge, I'm probably going to file a motion to suppress. I've been looking into the issue of constructive possession and how that needs to be dealt with, so I'm going to file a motion to suppress in some form or fashion.
Okay, so we'll continue this until the next cycle, 4A. But I'm going to announce last continuance. You know, you use those terms, but I'm using them because we should be able to get the motion to suppress done before then. If you'll get it, you know, pretty promptly, and then call my office, we'll get it set as soon as possible. And then we'll figure out where we're going with this case.
Yes, sir. Judge, I then have Keith Golden. I'd ask just to leave it set without subpoenas for docket day in hopes that we can get it resolved.
Your Honor, Ms. Basso, I think, stepped out of the room. I don't know if we want to wait for her to come back in the room on that.
Well, we don't need her in the room to continue to docket day. So hopefully she'll.
It's a new case, Judge, but I'm just.
But it might be a potential resolution, what you're saying.
Judge, I believe the case will resolve itself.
Okay. We'll come back on 219, plea or continue.
Judge, I then have Jeremy Sean Hargis. Mr. Hargis. Judge, I was appointed December 20th. Mr. Hargis? Yes. So I need to continue this matter, and I need Mr. Hargis to contact my office to discuss what I've got as far as discovery and what have
Do
you.
you have some discovery that's been exchanged?
Judge, I don't know if there's actually discovery or if I just got the police report, but there's information I need to talk to Mr. Hargis about. He needs to call my office and set an appointment.
When were you appointed?
Looks like December 20th.
Hargis, get up with your attorney.
Yes, sir. This is the first time I've been told that he was my attorney, but I will. I got dropped by my attorney last time I was here.
Well, when they drop, when you get an order, normally, what's your address that you have on record?
I'm not sure when they have on file.
I don't know. I'm asking you. The clerk's going to check it right now.
My address is 30 Merino Point Road, 704B, Destin, 32541.
That's why you're not getting it. This is wrong.
Oh, okay.
Could you go down to the clerk's office and do a change of address form so you can get your stuff? Because
Sure.
the problem is,
Sure thing.
listen to me. Listen up. What you've got on file, I'm pointing over to the clerk, on clerk's office, is where they're going to send stuff. If they send you stuff and you don't appear, they're going to hook you up.
Yeah.
So it's up to you to kind of keep up with, make sure you're getting the right date. We can only send stuff to where we have the last address.
Put your phone number right there.
Okay? Anyway, get up with your attorney and see if you move this case.
And Your Honor, I can confirm Mr. Nope should have discovery. It looks like he's received it and downloaded it.
Okay? Good.
But you need to call my office.
Okay, I will.
Okay? All right, very good.
So we'll continue this till 4, 8, and 9 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
April 8th. Thank you. Hyler.
Yes, sir. Judge, over the weekend, I received a boatload of discovery on the 23 CF 1429 case. So now I'll be able to schedule depositions. I was going to ask to continue it.
Your Honor, that's without objection. There was that second case, is nowhere.
Right. Continue to 4, 8. Let's try and get some discovery flowing here.
Judge, then I have Mario Lee. What's happening with the other case? Judge, I'm going to ask to continue Mr. Lee. There's about 4 others that are also charged in that case. And it looks like the other one's continued as well.
State.
That's correct, Your Honor, and I don't object to that.
Thank you,
Where
Judge.
are we going with all these cases that are all?
Your Honor, there is a social media download that is coming to them. So there's that outstanding. I don't know if they have any more depositions that they're taking, but we have taken a few depositions.
Just kind of wondering where all, I know you got multiple cases complicated, but I just kind of want to understand.
Judge, I don't know if it's the law enforcement that's involved, but there's been this social media that's supposed to have shown up for months now. And I'm not blaming the state. I'm saying that maybe law enforcement's not coming forward and actually giving it to them. But I've heard that a number of different times.
It hasn't been months. There was a Facebook return.
When is that supposed to come, Ms. Sharpless?
I'm anticipating getting it this week.
Okay, good. Why don't we come back on docket day just for an update? You're going to be here, both of you are going to be here anyway, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's just come back, just to get an update on that discovery.
And Your Honor, I just want to be clear, there were some social media posts that came over an initial discovery. There's more Facebook returns that have since come in pursuant to a search warrant. So that's what.
We just want to make sure that whatever's out there is flowing freely to the defense.
Yes,
so
sir.
we can move this case. If you think those are, obviously, somebody thinks those are relevant items. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Niddle, I think you've been here longest. Who's been here long? You guys will fight over it.
Me and Mr. Owens got here at the same time.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I only got one
Age
case.
before beauty, Mr. Niddle.
Oh, okay. I only got one case, Judge. And that's Dexter Lane. He is a co-defendant of Mr. Reed, whom you had the discussion with Ms. Dudley.
Okay, hold on.
It's a 22 case, 22 CF 110.
22 CF 110. Very good.
And I'm in the same position Ms. Dudley is in. We're waiting on the body cam, the initial body cam videos. I've already prepared a motion to suppress, but I need to see those two initial body cam videos to make sure I've got
What did we say in Ms. Dudley's case? How did we resolve this?
the February 19th to see what the progress was on getting those body cams.
That's correct, Your Honor.
It's Officer Albrecht and Officer Hale.
Okay. That sounds like a good. We'll come back on 2/19 at 9 a.m. to get an update on that discovery, get this case moving.
Yes, sir. Does Mr. Lane have to be here on the 19th?
If you file a waiver,
I'll file a waiver for him.
then he's good to go.
All right, thank you.
Mary Mason. Judge, I'm James Owens on behalf of Mary Mason. Judge, she was here, I did file a waiver this morning. Judge, it's an old case.
Hold on, there you go. Go ahead.
It's an old case, but I just got hired on it. She filed a pro se motion to suppress, and I think it's set in March. I have not had a chance to review that motion, and I would like to leave it just set for that date and let me get the state attorney an answer in the next couple of days after I've reviewed the motion and the body cam video.
Yeah, if you would please make sure and do that. We don't want to waste the time, but if it's a worthwhile motion, let's get it done.
As the court recalls, this was teed up for trial 2 times, has been continued 2 times. The state's willing to stipulate to 1 continuance, but after that, the state will be pushing for trial.
And thank you for reminding me of that. That's right, this case has. Okay.
Because depositions have already been conducted.
Yeah.
She lives, and I think my client wants transcripts of that. I think I need to get them from the state attorney probably, but she lives in Alabama. She's in her late 60s. She has no prior record, and she doesn't understand the legal system, so I think a lot of what she filed may be in error.
And
we'll continue it, but we will, I think, unless you can convince me otherwise, Mr. Owens, I believe the state's statement of last continuance would be inappropriate based on the history here. And again, you're new to the game, but your counsel just reminded me, we have been teed this thing up for trial twice. So, anyway, but I mean, if you got a legitimate motion to suppress, let's get it done. It's been scheduled. That'll get done before the 8th of April. But when we come back in April, we're all kind of looking to either hopefully have, you know, the best offer by the state and ready to either resolve or let's tee it.
Yes,
Your
sir.
Honor, the offer in this case is a PTI. With regard to the depositions, the state does not have the recordings. They were recorded by the PD's office. So, Mr. Owens, if you just reach out to the PD, I'm sure they'll give them to you. Thank you.
Okay.
So we're going to leave the motion set in March. I'm going to give the state attorney an answer in a couple of days about whether to pursue that, but you're going to give me new dates?
Very, well, the continuance, the next cycle is April 8th, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Owens. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, I know we've got do we want to do the, see, is any other private counsel here? So we're good, okay. So you want to do the two, so the interpreter can move on? Let's try and do that. I've got a couple names, but I don't know who the attorneys are.
The cases that Madam Interpreter observed, Your Honor, they are...
These are unrepresented?
They are
Okay,
unrepresented.
hold on just a second. Let me go to those. Okay. Figueroa Diaz.
Your Honor, this is state...
Hold on, wait till the interpreter. Would the clerk please swear in the interpreter?
Say your full name.
Teresa Iribarren.
Do you agree to accurately translate from English to Spanish and from Spanish to English the matter before the court is going to do?
I do.
This is State versus Mr. Figueroa Diaz, case number 23CF002512. Mr. Diaz is unrepresented. The state's offer in this case is a lesser included misdemeanor battery with 11 months and 29 days probation, no contact with the victim, and batterer's intervention program.
So, Mr. Figueroa Diaz, has there been previously a plea?
Your Honor, do you mean, is this a VOP?
No, I mean, this is pre-trial. I assume there's been I'm wondering why he doesn't have counsel.
Your Honor, I'm checking the clerk's minute.
Because normally when you have plea day, when you're making a plea, you get counsel.
He did plead not guilty on 12/14, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll ask him. Is there a reason why? Were you offered an attorney from the public defender at the last hearing, Mr. Diaz?
They did, but I didn't accept it, sir.
Okay. So are you wanting to proceed without an attorney? Or do you want to have an attorney appointed?
To be honest, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure because if I get a public defender, it's gonna help me, but it's gonna help me helping y'all too. And I didn't even do nothing. I'm not even here for no reason. I'm here for no reason. So I don't want to spend money on something that I don't even do. So I'm like, you know.
Okay. Well, at this point, you've been charged with a very serious crime. Aggravated battery on a pregnant woman. Okay? That's what you're charged with. It doesn't mean you're innocent until proven guilty in the United States.
Yes, sir.
So, the state has made an offer. If you wish to defend that, I would suggest you consider having an attorney, then you can discuss it with your attorney, and you can figure out how to proceed. You're at a great disadvantage because you do not know the rules if you do not have an attorney. So my first question is, do you want to have an attorney appointed?
I'm gonna give one, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
the court's going to appoint the public defender. And you want, I don't know if you were anticipating this, do you want to go a full cycle or you just want to come back on night and do a full cycle?
Let's do a full cycle so I can meet with my client.
We'll
Thank you.
Continue this until April 8th at 9 a.m. In the meantime, before that hearing, soon, really, in the next couple of weeks, meet up with your attorney. Okay? So you can look at your options, figure out where to go. Did you write down what the state's offer is?
I did not.
Your Honor,
So he's going to review.
I've already done discovery. It's being sent to Ms. Farkas right now.
And did you include the offer with that?
Correct, Judge.
So he's included that.
Awesome. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. So April 8th, 9 a.m., okay?
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And then next is Garcia Lopez.
Garcia Lopez, Julian Arlin. No response, Your Honor.
Madam Clerk, I do not have that on my stuff. Do we have Mr. Gates? It's one of your Gates.
Who would that be, Your Honor?
Garcia Lopez.
Yes, Your Honor, we've previously filed a waiver in Mr. Garcia Lopez's case.
Okay.
We're going to ask the court to continue the deposition, or to continue the depositions. Part of the issue I'm having is the victim.
If it's a waiver, let's just deal with it this afternoon.
That's fine, Your Honor. We waived his appearance.
I just wanted to do it in accommodation to the interpreter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any other, so that's all the cases?
That is all I have.
Okay. Thank you
Thank you,
very
sir.
much. We appreciate your help. Okay. It is noon. The court hasn't taken a break all morning, so I'm going to go ahead. I know we've got a couple here that don't have attorneys. We'll handle those at the beginning of this afternoon's docket, and then move into the ORCC, and we'll go from there. Anyway, but let's take a lunch break. We'll come back at 1:30.